Hello everyone. So in today's video, I will be demonstrating that how I can you create this basic structure of a board game. Now this is the actually the basic structure of board game, but our main aim is to do this. That is sending an array or sending an object in as a initial state for a variable. So basically sending an object in state. So yeah, let's get started with this. So the thing is, I have initially four players. Okay. So initially four players if I have, then what I can do is that I can individually declare four state variables. So, but what if we are building a multiplayer game that can have n number of players? Okay, so you cannot create n number of variables. So what we do is that we pass those variables initial state as an object to a single state that is going to be moves. So yeah, let's start with this. Okay, so here we are in VS Code. What we will do is that let's delete this. Okay, so here we are in VS Code. So what we will do is that we will create a board.jsx. In that board.jsx, first what we'll do is that we'll just import because we know we are going to do this eventually. So if we are here, might as well just complete the entire work for this page. All right. So here we have, and in our React file, currently we do not have anything because we have nothing mentioned in the board component. So let's go to board, export default function, return a div. Inside there will be a paragraph, and oh sorry, let's say lorem. Let's go to React page and refresh. We still do not have our paragraph. Okay, because we have not done this. Let's refresh again. We have to uncomment this. Okay, so here we have our board component. Now what we want to do is first we wanted to achieve. Okay, so this is our snapshot. So what we want to do is that we have a paragraph here that has some variable in it, and there is a button inside that. So let's first create this. So we have a paragraph that says blue moves equal to something, right? And then we have a button that says +1. And we have to achieve this four times. Okay, so let's actually first see what is happening. So here we have blue moves +1. So what we'll do is that blue, green, uh, yellow, and red. So we have four reds and we have four pluses. Now let's give a feature. So side equal to background color we want is background color we want is blue for blue, and we have to do this and that also in sorry, right? Okay, we have to do this and we do this. Okay, so we have to do that. Let's do the same thing for yellow color. And same color for green is just backspace enter. We have another custom colors. Let us see. That is yellow. Then it is red. All right. So here we have the color coded buttons. Now what we want to do is that we want to change the value of blue moves when we click on this button. So first we have arrived that we have to click on this button. So let's add on click property to this buttons. So here we go. On click, what should happen? Increase move for blue method should be called. Now if this method we are going to call, so what we will have to do is that we will have to re-render the UI, because whenever you see here if initial moves are 0, then when I click +1, then move should go to +1. When I again click on +1, it should go to 2 and 3. So what is happening is that our UI is going to be rendered. And if UI is going to be rendered, we remember that we have to use states. Okay. So import state, use state from React. And here we have let moves, or yeah, let's keep let only. Moves comma set moves equal to state. Now here if we have four players, so what we did, we just watched for C. Okay, but if we have four players, then we are going to have 0 for blue, 0 for green, 0 for yellow, and 0 for red. So if I click on green, green should increase by 1. If I click on yellow by +1, the yellow move should increase by +1. So what I have to do is that I have to set state, initial state as 0 for each and every color. All right. So what I can do is that I can create an object inside here, and I can say blue 0 moves. Same goes for yellow, same goes for green, and same goes for red. All right. And here we I need to enter comma. All right. So here we have created the state variable. Now let's start with our method. What our method will do is that it will give a callback to something. So let's see if this is working or not first. Blue moves increased. All right. So the moves of blue are increased. So let's refresh this. Blue moves increased. All right. So this method is working. So what we will do is that we will increase the moves of blue by 1 plus up equal to 1. All right. And let's see, let's print our console the value of this dot log dot blue. And let's also do one thing. It is only logical. Let's change the value also of moves dot blue. So or value of moves. So let's see what happens. An interesting thing will happen. So what we are seeing here, one is there, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Okay. So whenever I'm clicking plus one, the value of moves dot blue are increasing, but it is not showing here, even though we have defined it as a variable here. So what is happening is that in JavaScript or in JavaScript, whenever an object is created, okay, so an object is immutable. You cannot change the object. So what will happen is that, so let's say I have an object. This is our memory, and we have multiple keys inside this, okay, and let's control C, control V. Okay, so these are all the keys of our object. So what happens is that this entire object is not stored in the memory. What will happen is that its reference is stored in our variable. So whenever we are going, okay, so this is actually okay. So this is our object, and this is our memory. Okay, these are the two things: object and memory. Object, memory. So whenever we store our object in a variable, now we have a variable. All right, that is equal to our object. So this variable will not store the value of this object. Okay, it won't store the value of this object where it is located, okay, directly the value of object. So these keys won't be stored in this. All right, what will be stored is that this object is stored in a memory. Okay, now we have established that. Come on, move. All right, so what this variable will actually store is that it will store a reference. Okay, so what is that? We have a reference that, let's example, it is stored in D3 block. Okay, so what this D3 is, D3 is actually a reference for this object. Okay, it's a reference. Let's summarize this. We have an object, it is stored in memory in D3 block. This D3 block is the reference of this object. Okay, so if someone comes to your building and they ask, where does this guy live? So the security person would say that he lives in so and so flat number or so and so flat number. So what that does is that the security person is giving reference. Whose reference? Your reference. To whom? The guy who is coming to your place. Okay, so what happens actually is that this reference is actually stored. So when will we say that the object is changed? Because we are not directly accessing the object. What we are accessing the reference. So we can only say that a object is changed when the reference changes. All right, so if someone wants to come to your place, okay, so then let's take the same example of the security person. Now, first suppose the parcel delivery guy comes and he asks for person A. So what will he do? The security person will give the reference of person A to the parcel delivery guy. But then parcel delivery guy asks that I want address of B. So what will the security guy will do? He will give object of a reference of B to a place, okay, to the parcel guy. So a object is said to be changed or modified when its reference is modified, okay. And when will reference be modified? When there is another object created. All right. I hope this is clear with everyone. First, object stored in memory. When variable is for when an object is stored in a variable, a reference is stored. An object's value changes when its reference changes. All right. So let me again give you an example for this. So the reference for this might be, let's say A7. All right. So A7 will then be stored in this variable. Then object will be again changed here. Object will be changed to object 2. Okay. So this is how an object is stored in our memory. Same for arrays as well. Same thing goes for arrays. Okay. So yeah, now let's go to the React page, and now I will show you why this is not working. See, this is an array object. This is an object. So the object is said to be changed only when its reference changes, and a component is re-rendered only when there is some change. Now, even though the moves or dot blue, so that is the key is changing, but the object as a whole in itself has not changed. Hence, React will not trigger a re-render. So what we will need to do is that we will need to create a copy of this, then make a change in that, and then set that value as moves. All right. So what we will do is that we will use spread operator. Okay, spread operator, what this will do is that it creates a shallow copy, and inside that what we will do is that for the value of blue we will set as blue dot moves. Right, this is what we will do, and we will enclose this entire thing in the curly braces. Okay, I hope everybody has understood this. This is the spread operator. We are setting the value of blue in the new moves that we have created. Okay, now let's see if it is working or not. Let's refresh this. Plus one. Okay, what is happening? Blue is not defined. We don't need this. Oh, all right. We have to do plus one as well, and we have to remove this. All right. So the value of blue key will be moves plus one. Let's refresh this. Plus one object. Again, we are receiving this dot blue. See, now the value is increasing. So the change is happening here. All right. So this is how we copy an object, or for that matter, an array. So let's do the same thing for green, yellow, and red. So increase move for red. Here we will have red, and we'll have red. All right. We can also do one thing, is that instead of changing this, we can directly copy this to ChatGPT and ask him to replace blue with green, and it will still work. See, here again we have to make the changes. Red and green. Here we have yellow, 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 yellow. All right. Let's give this on click property also to each and everyone. So what we'll do is that we'll do this. What to say, give multiple cursors, what I'm doing is I'm alt clicking it and control V. Let's go back. We know we want to erase up to blue. Then go for green. Then it is yellow. Then it is red. All right. So now this whole thing will work for each and everything. Again, what we are forgetting here is that we need to add this as well. You see, React is good in that way. What it will do is that if there are some error, it won't even render only the UI. So any errors are stopped at the production stage only. Development stage. Let's refresh. All right. Moves are increasing, increasing, increasing. All right. Let's do this. See, moves are increasing for each and everything. So our main functionality that we wanted to achieve is completed. But what we can do is that we don't just have to write the basic code. We have to write the smallest code that we can. So and the most clear of the codes. So what we will do is that first we will use callback method in this set moves. So instead of just this, what we'll do is we'll use a callback that achieves the same thing. But instead of this, what we'll do is that we'll do previous moves, and here we will have previous moves. And then what we'll do is that in place of moves, we will again change to previous moves. All right. And what we'll have to do is that we will have to return this. All right. Let's see if our functionality has changed or is it working or not. Our functionality is still working. Okay. Let's do the same thing for each and everything. Control C, Control V, Control V, and Control V. All right. Now instead of blue, here we have to write red, red, red. Again, green, green, yellow, yellow. All right. Yeah. So this is our code. Still working. Yeah. This was the basic Ludo board counter, if you want to call it that. Okay, because it has 4 player, you can say it is working for each and every player. So yeah, and this is how you pass an object as a state variable. And here we can see that we have used callbacks as well. Why are we using callback? We are using callback because the new value depends on the old value, and hence we are using callbacks. That is new value. This new value is depending on the previous value. So we are destructuring or spreading or copying, making the shallow copy of our object, and then we are changing its one specific key for one specific method. Now, before concluding this lecture, let's do one thing that we have since we have seen an object, how object is passed as a state variable. Let us also see how a array is passed. So let's create an array. So how let's suppose we say array itself, or we cannot say array. So yeah, set array equal to use state. What will give no moves currently. What we want to do is that when the moves of blue are clicked, what we want to do is that in this array we want to add an element that says blue moves. Okay. So what we will do is that we will use set array method, and inside that set array method, what we'll do is that before that set array method, what we want is that arr push blue moves and set array, and inside that set array, what we'll pass is that we'll pass that array, and what we'll do is that for dot log array. So this is our array. We are pushing blue moves in it, and then we are console logging the array. And here we will go, and along with blue moves, what we will do is that we will show the array itself. So let's see what happens. Refresh. No moves, no moves, no moves. Currently, nothing is happening. So what this concludes is that whenever we push an array or push an element inside an array, it is not triggering re-render. That means our new array is not created. So to do that, again, what we will have to do is that we will have to create a new array using the spread operator. And inside that spread operator, from that array, we will re-render the UI. So let's remove this. Let's go to our set array. And inside that, what we'll do is that we'll spread the array and then push blue mouse inside it. Okay. Oh, some error is coming here. Okay, this is not supposed to be this. Since it is an array, it is supposed to be square brackets. Let's refresh. New moves. Okay. So the This is actually passed. Blow mouse, blow mouse, blow mouse, blow mouse. So it is about it is actually doing is it is actually recording each and every move. So if someone wants, they can go back in history and undo this. So whenever you are playing chess or Ludo, when you click play something, okay, so your striker moves 6 positions ahead, and then you decided that you didn't want to move this striker, you wanted to move this striker. So what you do is undo and then move this striker. So this one records each and every move of yours. So to give space, we can do this refresh, blue mouse, blue mouse, and so on. Okay. So this is how an array is passed. Let's do one thing. Let's see if this works or not. Since we are here in blue, what we are doing is like we are saying the blue moves. If we are ARR, here we can see red moves. What we'll do is that, or what we can do is that just do this inside the div. We can give this, and we can print the ARR here. Okay. And here we have given the set for blue. Here it is red. Let's copy this. It's going to be for green, and it's which one is this? Yellow. All right, let's see what happens. Blue moves, green moves, yellow moves, red moves, blue moves, yellow moves, green moves, red moves, blue moves, yellow moves, green moves, red moves. So I know now. So first of all, there were no moves. Then blue was moved once. Green, yellow, red, blue, yellow. So this has recorded each and every move. Yeah, and that was just basic extra functionality that we added, and that is how we actually pass an array as a state variable. Now here we have learned also one thing, that there can be multiple state variables in one component. There can also be multiple updater functions inside one component. So this is important to keep in mind. And yeah, finally, thank you for watching till the end.